Let me tell you, Anastasia done had her nasty ways, but this past week, dealing with this whole cotillion mess, it has gotten lethal. Okay? The way that her and her granddaughter have been giving it to Samantha is disgusting. I was so proud of Nicole for keeping it cute because honestly, that part of Chicago that Anita is from would have jumped out of me the moment the moment that Anastasia basically called Samantha trash. Like, oh, and the animosity and the nastiness just trickles down through Anastasia's family, obviously. Because the way that Francesca Chessie went to Samantha and apologized on her grandmother's behalf, and Samantha was like, "Oh, thank you. Like, I appreciate that." And she was like, "Yeah, she just shouldn't have said it out loud. Like, I completely agree with her. You don't belong here." But she didn't have to say that out loud. Wow. They are nasty. And Samantha really like dropped out. Like, she was ready. She was done. And the person that actually talked her down off the ledge was Eva. And it makes sense. It makes sense. When Eva came to the house and said, "Oh no, like let's talk," as two girls from the other side of the street, like that made sense. Okay. Cause yeah, they are both technically outsiders that were brought beyond the gates, literally, by other family members. So even though they weren't born into it or there specifically, they are part of the family. I love how Nicole told Samantha that she's still a Dupree, even if she's not blood. Like, you are family, girl. And the way that they convinced her that she wasn't is just, oh, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Them talking about June and the way that they were just so misplaced. It was just out of line and disgusting. People like that never win. And that's why they have that nasty attitude because they never won. Apparently, Anastasia's daughter couldn't cut it. She was so shy that she could barely do anything. So now she's living vicariously through her granddaughter. It's disgusting. Okay. Like, I'm ready for this cotillion to happen so all of this can be put to bed and she can be mad about something else. Eva's birthday is the exact same day as the cotillion. So she's already decided that she wasn't going to go. And Leslie, being her nasty, self centered self, had a problem with the fact that her and Ted were worried about the cotillion more than celebrating Eva's birthday. So she decided that they should have a pre birthday dinner and celebrate Eva the day before, right? Of course, she's thinking that she's going to stroll in and it's going to be a Brady Bunch moment with the three of them, Leslie, Ted, and Eva, because that's the family dynamic that she's still trying to create and still exists in her brain. Like, in her brain, it's them three that are going to be this great family. To the point that when she got to Eva's apartment and saw that Isaiah was there, she was mad. She was mad, even though she's been trying to push for them to get married since the very beginning. She was mad that he was in the dynamics of what she thought Eva's birthday was going to look like. What's so annoying is how Leslie just really throws her money at everything now. And it's like, if it's not extravagant and grand, then it's not good. And that is so annoying. She just reeks of new money, right? Like, people that just got their hands on money that they've never seen. And now it's just like everything has to be extravagant and over the top. It's so annoying. And I'm glad that Eva didn't take on that narrative because if so, her and Isaiah wouldn't be where they are. Thankfully, she stays true to herself and the relationship that her and Isaiah have built. And they had a nice dinner. Isaiah did his thing. He cooked macaroni and cheese, although we could have some protein on that plate. We weren't gonna do no fried chicken, a piece of ham, some baked chicken, a little fish. Well, he said that he didn't do lobster mac and cheese because Ted has a shellfish allergy, which was nice. That shows that he's been paying attention and he does care about making sure that everybody is comfortable. Kudos to Isaiah. And he was the one that actually told Ted that he would cook for everybody. He played basketball with Andre and Ted earlier that day, and Ted invited him to have dinner with them for Eva's birthday. And he was like, well, we already have plans and stuff, but I would love to be a part of that. And actually let me cook. Of course, Ted loved that idea because he doesn't have to be seen in public with Leslie, one. And two, it takes the pressure off of him because I'm sure he knew that Leslie was going to be all over Isaiah in that moment. Although the dinner was beautiful, Leslie was straight up nasty. Okay? Like, she had a comment for everything. Once again, she was mad that Isaiah was there in the first place. Then she was upset with the fact that they weren't going out to have dinner. She was like, oh, we need to go to, she's naming stuff. Ruth Chris, STK, Four Seasons. Like she's listing these extravagant restaurants that they should be going to. And Isaiah comes around and he's like, oh, the food's gonna be ready in a minute. And she's like, oh, I know you didn't cook. Yes, he did. You're just mad because nobody's done these grand gestures for you. Like the way that she just completely sabotages Isaiah and Eva's relationship is just disgusting. But I'm glad that they powered through. Everybody powered through the dinner. Even when she brought up his mother, and said how disrespectful and nasty his mother was. And it was just like, girl, you don't like Darlene because you and Darlene are two sides of the same coin, even though Darlene is justified in her anger towards you. Because yes, you did mess up people's lives and still won't hold any accountability for it. Not outside of any animosity. And you didn't even have to bring that up. Like she didn't even have to bring Darlene up. But that shows how much she loves jabbing at other people. She loves giving it to other people and just being disrespectful. And I was glad that Eva called her out every time. Like, hey, you need to chill. Don't disrespect his mother. Please stop. Like she was definitely stopping her in her tracks every time she got too out of line. And you can tell that Ted was just like, oh, thank God it doesn't have to be me. Ted gave Eva the cutest like few gifts. He gave her a teddy bear in which he would have gave her when she was young. He gave her some perfume that he would have given her when she was a teenager, and then he gave her a pillow that said like I think it said like to my beloved daughter, that he would have given her as her housewarming gift when she got her apartment. So he's trying to like make up for lost time. And I do think that it's beautiful that Ted is putting forth all of this effort with Eva. You can see that Leslie even got a little emotional because she was like, I've been waiting for this. Like, I am glad that Eva is getting her moment in the sun with both of her parents, but Leslie has got to chill, like for real. Even to the fact that, Eva and Isaiah took another step in their relationship and told each other that they love each other. And now that can bleed into them actually getting married. Unfortunately, that just goes with exactly with what Leslie wants, and she's going to be completely unhinged when that actually does become a thing. But I am happy that they're a happy couple and they're moving forward because they deserve it. Okay, I know it's a lot of people on the screen, but these are all of the people that's currently dealing with this plasma ring case, right? We got Jacob at the helm, his dad, Chief Hawthorne, over there. Malone is getting mixed up in it. I'll let you know how. Of course, we got Grayson, who is one of the couriers, Dr. Leah, who is obviously calling the shots. And then you got Smitty, who started it all. He's the one that had the anonymous tip and came to Jacob with the story, right? It's coming to an end. Oh, and I didn't add Ren. Ren should definitely be in here. I'll pop him in here somewhere. But it's coming to a close, guys. There is going to be the next drop off is going to be at the warehouse, and it's going to have all the VIPs there. So the Impaler is going to be there. Everybody should be there. And Jacob is suspecting that Leah's boss would be there, in which most of us think is Joey. I do think that Leah is Joey's sister. And the way that he freaked out when Vanessa tried to show him, like, hey, I found some information on your sister for you to like start looking for her. He freaked out, like, oh, I'm not looking for my sister. Like, and you're out of line for doing that. I don't think that he freaked out because she was overstepping her boundaries. He freaked out because he knows exactly where his sister is. And he knows that Leah is involved in all of this mess, right? So we're getting that much closer to this being over. I'm so ready for this to be over. This storyline has really run its course. Now, the scary part about it is somebody gonna get hurt. Okay, because Jacob has definitely set up for the police to raid the warehouse when everybody is in place. And in the forward credits, it shows that Leah identifies Jacob in that warehouse, and then there's gunfire. So I don't know who is going to get hit, if anyone is going to get hit, but it's definitely going to be a hot situation with this wrap up. Okay, but I'm ready. Malone was looking into the hacking of Nicole's uh computer. We all know that it was Smitty, right? But he found that the security system has been turned off and on multiple times, including the lights. Obviously, we know that that was Leah doing it every time that Ren was running in those hallways doing what he wanted to do, when Grayson was moving around, when she was moving around. Who knows how many times she's cut it off and on to cover them, right? So now we get to see Malone is very suspicious of her as well. And so is Chief Hawthorne. So I think he's going to be part of this wrap up. We saw the damage that Ted did with Chenise last week when he basically defended Leslie to her. And she was like, oh, no, I'm not dealing with this soft spot that you have for her. Like, it's not going to work for me. He's so scared that she's going to bow out and be done with him that he brought in her aunt, Dr. Monica, to talk to her. Now, of course, Dr. Monica is an OG auntie. So the moment she saw Ted, she was like, what did you do? You cheated on my niece already? Like, I knew that you were trash. What happened? I'm just glad that she's always got Shanice's back, right? But he explained what happened with Leslie briefly in his own way and basically reassured her that it was nothing going on with him and Leslie. He doesn't want Leslie. And he wants Shanice to understand that that is not a thing and wants her to, drop this fear and insecurity that she has. They had a great conversation. Dr. Monica revealed to Chenise that she has been in this same boat herself, to where she let fear and doubt keep her from a man that she could have potentially been with. And I think that was a good way to tell Chenise that she's messing up. Like, and we all do it, right? After you've had your heart broken a time or two, you definitely put yourself in self preservation. And Shanice isn't doing this from left field. Like, yeah, Ted definitely chose Leslie over her in that argument situation. And I would have been taken aback as well. Like, I'm not going to play this game with you. I'm already insecure about you going back to your ex wife. And now you got me insecure about your baby mama, too. Your mistress that you say you was never going to mess with again. Like, no, I'm not dealing with it. But thankfully, Dr. Monica, set her on the right path and told her to fall hard. Like, don't be so afraid to fall in love. And if it doesn't work, then that's life. But falling and hitting the ground is worse than not falling at all and then regretting what could have been, right? Now you're living in shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And no one wants that for Shanice. Now, I don't want Ted for Shanice. I do think that she needs to cut that off. And I do think that she's going to be justified with whatever happens at this Catillion. If she ends up going to the Catillion, she's going to see the chemistry that he has with Nicole. She's going to see how he moves with the rest of his family, whatever. And it's going to be the last straw for her. I definitely see an end coming for Shanice and Ted. I think it's for the better for both of them. What do y'all think? Do you think that she should fight for it, or she should just call it quits? Nicole and Vanessa are besties again, and just in time to get Nicole in some more mess. Vanessa knows she is so messy. Like, it's crazy how she just. Anyways, Nicole told Vanessa of how she was having intimate thoughts about Ted when she was being intimate with Carlton, and how it's gotten worse. The next time she saw him in the country club, she fantasized, like, had a daydream about them, like, getting it on right there in the hallway of the country club. Whew, Nicole has got it bad. Now, when she told Danny about the situation, Danny was like, it's okay. It's natural. She's had those moments with Bill in the beginning when she was with Andre, but it just showed her like they still had history, but that didn't mean anything for her future. That was just her nostalgia creeping up, right? Vanessa's like, no. Vanessa's like, that sounds like an itch that you need to scratch. Okay, girl. It's still something going on between y'all. You need to explore it, even if it's just sexual, even if it's just lust. I think that's horrible advice. I think that's horrible advice. Okay. Vanessa, we already know your track record when it comes to relationships. This is not the time to give advice. And thankfully, Nicole is not acting on what Vanessa has said, although she's seen Ted twice now and had those same feelings. And every time he sees her now, he's like, yo, you look flustered. Like, you good? No, she's not, because she's fantasizing about y'all going ham. Oh, Nicole needs to get it together. Okay. She's already said that she's not bringing Kyle nor Carlton to the Catillion. And I don't think Ted is bringing Chenise. So that's going to be interesting with Ted and Nicole playing grandparents in this moment of their grandkids, being brought into society. Who knows what feelings this will drudge up between them? I think everybody sees that they're still not done. There's still so much history and chemistry there, and they obviously do still love each other. Nicole is still stuck on the secrets and the lies, which is completely understandable. But at the end of the day, I do think those feelings mean something. I do think that means that there's unfinished business between them, and she needs to figure out how she really feels before she ends up hurting everybody, including herself. Because if she ends up going down the wrong path, it can undo all of the progress that she's done on herself. Let me know what y'all think. Should she tiptoe with Ted or keep it pushing? Madison having Bill and Naomi represent her in this lawsuit has really brought him and Naomi together in a way that he's been pining for, obviously, ever since she decided she wanted to be a lawyer, right? She talks all the time about how they're not the same type of lawyers. She wants to fight for the little guy and dismantle the big companies that are taking advantage of people, and Bill is one of those big companies that takes advantage of people. He cares more about the money than the cases. But when it comes to this Madison case, they found some common ground, and it obviously feels good for both of them. Chelsea had a moment where she dealt with a mean and disrespectful reporter that was all up in her and Madison's face. She knocked over his phone and it broke, and it all, obviously somebody posted it on social media and it went viral. So she went live and said, oh, people should respect themselves. Women have to respect and protect themselves. And it went over well. She had that conversation beforehand with Bill and Naomi to make sure that that was okay for her to do. And in that process, when she was on the phone, she was at Danny's house. They were supposed to be having a movie night. So she ended up being on speaker, and all four of them had their family moment, right? And it was really interesting because Haley was sitting her little butt on that couch the whole time. And she was obviously feeling some type of way. But who cares? You don't belong. And I want her to feel that way every time. She does not belong in the family dynamic, period. And this is the reminder that Bill messed it up. I love that he constantly, like, the regret just shows up on his face constantly. And I love that. I love that for us, because you asked for that, Bill. This is what you wanted. You broke the family unit, and now you have to be on the outside looking in. But he's using this case with Madison to solidify his spot in this family dynamic. And it's only going to last until the court case does. Like, it's not going to last very long. So he better soak it all up while he can, while he got his girls in his back pocket, because it's not going to last long. We did get a blast from the past this week, as attorney Mike, has returned to the gates. We remember attorney Mike from the first season where Bill had to fire him over a sexual harassment lawsuit that he had with some of the other employees at the law firm, right? He is just a nasty prick. All right. He's sexist. He's manipulative. He's slimy, just ugh. And now he's representing the woman that is suing Madison. Now, ain't that a coinky dink? Obviously, he's doing this to get back at Bill because Bill has basically blacklisted him from being an attorney within that state, probably, if not the whole country. Because, yeah, once that lawsuit was dealt with and settled, he fired Mike and was like, "You'll never work in this town again." He calls him an ambulance chaser now because of him picking up this case. That's completely irrelevant. But of course, he had to jump at because he knew that Bill and Naomi would be representing Madison. So it's become quite messy. He even gave Bill a offer for them to settle the case. He asked for $40 million. Come on. Like, that's outrageous. Nobody died. Okay. Like, yeah, this kid went through some difficulties health wise, which is mostly on the mother, I still feel. And I'm pretty sure the jury will see it that way too, because you shouldn't have taken any advice from just a post of a doctor's mother saying what to do about your kid if they have a bad fever. Like, come on, you should have took them to the hospital, point blank, period. But now she has a snake in her corner that's representing her, and this may get really messy. He was obviously the one that hired the person to come up, that reporter to come up to Chelsea. He hired any type of cameraman, whoever that was that filmed the incident, that put it on social media. He's already playing dirty, and he's going to keep playing dirty until this case is done. Right. So thankfully, Bill is on this case, because if it was just Naomi, it would have gotten crazy. And even for Madison to like think like, this is another reason for her to be like, ugh, maybe I don't want them representing me, because now it's about them and not even me. I just hope that she doesn't lose her license in all of this, but it's going to be a messy fight before it resolves itself, if it ever does. Anita got to ring that bell. Ring the bell. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hyped. I'm hype. Anita is done with chemotherapy. Oh, yes. Yes. Finally. Okay. She got through that red devil treatment, and now she's moving on to the next phase. Now, the next phase ain't that much fun because she still has to have surgery, right? So she's decided that she's going to do the least invasive surgery, and she's going to just get the lump removed as opposed to removing one of her breasts or both of her breasts. And they even went in depth and said, like, oh, we can remove your uterus too, just in case you develop ovarian cancer because of the BRCA gene. Whoa. Whoa. The hospitals and doctors love to just race past what's going on. Like, we're dealing with breast cancer here. Now, granted, she is older, so precautionary moves are understandable, right? Like, you don't want to have to deal with cancer 10 years later, and now you're older and weaker, right? When you could have just gotten it taken out now. So I was looking for her to do like take off both breasts, just to be safe. But that is a 4-hour procedure, and the recovery from that is very long, right? So I completely understand her being like, I've already been through chemo. Like, I'm not trying to be taking months to recover from some huge surgery. Like, let's just get the lump out and be done with it. I'm not mad at it. I'm hoping that this is a step in the right direction. I'm hoping that that means that we don't have to deal with this anymore. But now that we're getting to this part of Anita's process, I do see the fact that Naomi has the BRCA gene coming back up. Even if we start talking about precautionary situations, like, I just think that narrative is going to come back up again, just to add to the pressure and the anxiety of the whole BRCA situation. So definitely got to keep an eye out for that. But I'm just so happy that Anita is making such great progress. Like, this was so amazing to watch. It was heartfelt, it was emotional. I definitely had a few tears in my eyes. And she rang that bell, baby. We are done with chemotherapy. Let's keep it going. How do y'all feel about this developing storyline between Monica and Randy? I gotta be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. One, I don't see the compatibility between them. I just don't. I don't see any chemistry or whatever. I completely get if it's literally just Monica trying to evangelize to Randy and, just getting him on track with the Lord. Like, that's totally fine. But for them to have this underlying tension, sexual tension, if I may, it's a bit weird. Okay. Obviously, she feels some type of way about him because she felt some type of way about him displaying some public affection when he was getting that ketchup off of Lynette's fingers some episodes back. Right. And she brought that up immediately. Like, oh, where's your lady friend with the sticky fingers? So obviously, you felt some type of way, Monica. And Randy clocked it. Okay. And he even clocked it when they had a little moment. And she was like, oh no, I'm grown. I'm a grown woman. You respect me as such. But girl, you was giving him the googly eyes. Like, choose what you want, girl. He's a grown man. So either you're gonna flirt with him or you're gonna evangelize and be, you know, deaconess. Like, there's no in between, obviously. Randy ain't no saint. So if you're looking for a God-fearing, church-going man, he ain't it. And you too old to be trying to turn an old man into it. Okay? Randy, he ain't gonna change. He may evolve a bit, but he ain't gonna change. So whatever this is, I wrap it up. Wrap it up. Cause is she gonna be his savior when they try to come for him when they're looking for Lynette? I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. Y'all let me know. Maybe I'm being approved. Maybe I'm just being boring and this is actually interesting to some of y'all. But I'd rather not. Yes, Lynette is still in the wind. At this point, I don't know if has she been unalived? Like, I don't know what's going on. She has been named in the whole blood plasma situation because that's the only time Leah Whitmore, Dr. Leah, her name has been in the courts, right? Like, her records are squeaky clean, but apparently she was one of the victims of Lynette's embezzlement situation and lost a lot of money in that process, which gives her motive of being the impaler because she needs that extra money now that she lost all of her money through that investment, right? So Jacob is convinced that Leah is not the main person. Joey is. But Smitty has been going around getting more information on Leah through Lynette's case. So now Smitty has talked to Tomas and even asked Tomas, like, where is she? And even Tomas is like, we don't know. We don't know. Like, she skipped town after telling everyone that she was going to stay in DC. She skipped town, which is weird, but he's let it go because we're done with it. Smitty, no. Smitty's like, well, maybe somebody came after her. And now he's thinking that maybe it was Leah, which would help Jacob's case because then they can use that to flip Leah, right? Like, if she was the one that had something to do with Lynette's disappearance, they can use that and say, okay, well, you need to point us to who the main person is with this blood plasma ring to give you immunity from whatever happened with Lynette, right? So that's definitely a way that this could be woven into the story. But where do y'all think Lynette is? Like, is she really just laying low? Is she chilling? Like, Randy doesn't even seem like he's going to see her or check up on her or anything. Like, what did he do? Even with the fact that Randy ended up being the last person to have her phone to send everybody those text messages saying that she was over it and she's never coming back. What did he do? Where is Lynette? Bring her back for Bill's sake, because she's the only one that can really. I feel like Bill will probably only believe Lynette when it comes to what her and Haley's history really is. because he's going to believe Haley regardless. But if Lynette comes and says, oh, we've been besties since the very beginning, he has no choice but to believe that. That's been everyone's narrative about Haley. And now if he hears it straight from the horse's mouth, yeah. So they need to find Lynette. Bring her on back beyond the gates. These two are really all over the place, and I'm just trying to see what's up. Like, what's really going on? Okay. Obviously, she's deeply in love with this man to the point where she's already started tracking down his sister after him telling her drops of information about their relationship, right? She's deep in. She's deep in, even to the point where she confided in him about missing Doug. Now that the Cotillion is here and Donnell is going through the escort process again, the last time he did it with Deanna, Doug was involved. He made sure the suit was good. He gave him cufflinks. And Joey decides to take it upon himself to bring Donnell some of his cufflinks for him to wear to the cotillion. Now, at first, Donnell was like, absolutely not. Why would you even give this to me? Like, why would you even loan them to me? Like, you trying to be my dad now? You trying to play stepdad? And of course, Joey was like, nah, you don't want him, fine. But then Darnell ended up going back and saying like, oh, my bad. Like, I'll take them. I'm not saying I'll wear them, but like, I'll try. And he's obviously just trying to make an effort for Vanessa because he knows how much Vanessa cares about Joey. But what's up with that, Joey? You could have just left it alone. Like, Vanessa told Joey about the cufflinks in her grieving process of Doug. It wasn't for him to go and find a replacement. Just because she couldn't find the cufflinks, that was to leave alone. That's between her and her kids. And that's why Deanna ain't coming back. Because even though Joey continues to talk about how he doesn't want kids, he never wanted kids, he's not trying to take Doug's place in the kid's life, he's constantly trying to play stepdad, like for real. And the way that he dealt with these cufflinks, it really shows. Like, you trying to establish your place in these kids' lives. And I don't think it's just for Vanessa. I think he's trying to create his own little family as well. So we'll see what happens with this. Is Donnell going to wear the cufflinks? Do you think that he was overstepping his boundaries by offering Donnell his cufflinks to wear? Also, do you think that Vanessa overstepped by looking into finding Joey's sister? Maybe she's just looking for somebody to fully approve of them. Maybe she's like, oh, if I find his sister, she'll love me, and then I can have somebody that approves of our relationship. I'm pretty sure she's that desperate. So, poor Vanessa. It's going down next week, okay? The cotillion is here. I'm so ready to see the looks. I'm ready to see the drama. Apparently, Donnell is nowhere to be found, and he's supposed to be escorting Samantha. Craziness. Okay, it's going down. They're about to do the bus for Jacob's job. We're at the end of that. Big stories are coming to a close. So make sure you're watching, okay? Make sure you're watching in real time so we can keep these numbers going and let the networks know we're watching. We're intrigued and we're tapped in, okay? And you don't want to miss it. That cotillion is going to be crazy. I'm so ready. I'm ready for the cotillion. I'm ready for the bust. I'm ready for it to go down. I'm even ready for Martin's campaign to be done. Like, let's keep it going, right? I'm so excited for everything that's happening beyond the gates. Ugh, I just love this show. Hit me in the comments. Let me know how you felt about everything that we talked about. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll meet you here every week beyond the gates.